Welcome to another edition of Sports Block. As we're here as the Lady Mustangs softball team hosts conference rival Garner. I'm Adam Ireland here with.
I'm Harrison Eaton.
Should be a good one tonight, as both teams are traditionally good, and as Garner's regarded as one of the best teams in the state, and both teams made it to went on a decent runs in playoffs last year, as Middle Creek made it to the second round, and Garner made it to the third round. So Middle Creek definitely has a chance to take a always good 1-0 conference record early on and get a run over its rival in a well-regarded team. So our defensive lineup for the Mustangs tonight is Tiana Langley's playing shortstop, Christina Mitten's playing second base, Shelby Cornett's playing center field, Casey Rand is playing catching, Claudia Penny's playing first, Olivia Royal is playing right field. Meredith Ragland's playing third base. Ella Pierce is DHing, so she'll be hitting for Olivia Royal. Gianna Gravis is the starting pitcher, and Elizabeth Patterson is in left field for the Mustangs. Definitely should have a good game tonight.
Yes. With Garner being a top team in the state, Middle Creek hopes to pull up the upset in this one.
And definitely, you always have a chip on your shoulder in rivalry games, and I always say, rivalry games just throw out records and throw out who's better, just because there's something always different about rivalry games in every sport. It's just throw out everything you know. It's who wants it more. And which saying throw out the records isn't saying much, because Middle Creek's 3-1 overall, while Garner's 4-0, and neither team has played a conference game, so throwing out the records is not really much of a difference there. As we're gonna get ready for the batter, as Gravis is finishing her warm-up pitches. And our first batter of the night for the Trojans is going to be number one, Christina De Ocro for the Trojans. Gianna, the senior pitcher, who has only really been pitching. This is only her second year pitching for the Mustangs, as she's pitched before, as her first pitch is in there for a strike. So that makes an 0-1 count. In her second year pitching for the Mustangs, and that's in their first strike, so it makes an 0-2 count. 0-1 count. Makes an correction. It is a 0-1 count.
Infield playing in here.
And that pitch is going to be in for a ball, so that makes it a 1-1 count. It's going to make it a 1-1 count on the leadoff. So if it definitely would go a long way for the Mustangs in this inning if they can get the leadoff batter out, because you never want the leadoff batter on base. And that's going to be in for a ball. So it makes it a 2-1 count on Ocro. So let's see if Gravis can get even in the count, as this is slapped to the shortstop Langley, but she's gonna collide with the third baseman Ragland, so that's gonna be an infield single there for Ocro.
Got caught up at her feet there, lost control of the ball at her glove.
Yeah, it almost looked like a little miscommunication there between the shortstop Langley and the third baseman Ragland on who should have got it. So that's gonna bring up number 20, Haley Joyner for the third baseman for the Trojans. And that's going to be in for a strike one. Make it a 1-0 count. Second strike batter, Gravis has got a hit on early with a first pitch strike. As Joyner steps out of the box for a second to regain her footing. And the 0-1 pitch is in for a ball, and the runner attempts to steals, and she's gonna be it's gonna be safe. So Rand was unable to unable to get the runner as the throw was a little far right for the shortstop Langley. So it makes it a 1-1 count. Runner on second with no outs. So 1-1 count. Runner on second, no outs. This is slap past the third baseman Ragland all the way to the left fielder Patterson. Arkrow is going to come in to score as Joyner has a double, so that makes the score 1-0 Trojans early on. So that's going to bring up number 6. That's going to bring up number 16, Michaela Rumbles, who's also the starting pitcher for the Trojans tonight.
You got a runner on second here. Garner's showing aggressive obviously on the first steal of the bag.
Yeah, that steal is really probably paid big for Garner, as this is going to be fouled out of play, so that's going to make an 0-1 count early on. So yeah, that steal by Akro was big for the Trojans as that double. If she would not have been able to steal, she wouldn't have attempted it, and on first base she most likely would have not been able to score there. So that's big for the Trojans, as it gives them a early 1-0 lead. As Rumble swings and misses at the 0-1 pitch, so that makes an 0-2 count. So you can hear the dugouts getting into it. The 0-2 pitch is down and away for a ball, so it makes it a 1-2 count. So let's see what Brumbles can do here with 1-2 pitch. We'll see if Graves can get her the chase out of the zone, or just beat her with a fastball. As this is fouled back, so this can be fouled back out of play. So it's still going to remain in 1-2 count. Second foul pitch that's been fouled off by Brumbles in this at bat. So we have Brumbles is third batter of the inning with runner on second with no outs. Trojans leading 1-0. So it will be big here if Middle Creek can get an out here, possibly without allowing the runner to take. So that's going to be a strikeout for Gravis, her first strikeout of the night. It's going to be a swing and strikeout. So that's going to bring up number 51, Savannah Ridley for Garner. As she's the in the 4-hole for she's in the cleanup spot for the Trojans. As that pitch is going to be a little up and away for ball one to make an 0-1 count early on.
Middle Creek keeping an eye on this runner at second base here.
Yeah, you don't want him to steal. You don't want to get in the third, because then a fly ball to the outfield will most likely score the runner. As this is going to be fouled back out, just out of play, as it just barely hit the top of the fence that surrounds the field. So that's going to make it a 1-1 count here. If that ball was just a little bit more in, then Rand would probably have been able to get it for the second out of the inning, and that would have been big for Middle Creek. But nonetheless, it's a 1-1 count, as this pitch is going to be down and away for ball 2, so make it a 2-1 count.
Joyner taking a decent lead after the pitch is released. She's getting pretty close to the third base bag here.
Yeah, it'll be big. Most likely, whatever happens here, as this is going to be just paints the outside edge, just barely inside the outside edge for strike 2 to make it a 2-2 count. So most likely anything here, a fly ball or a ground ball, will advance the runner unless it's a ground ball to the left side, in which case the runner could be out at third base, as this is going to hit to the center fielder, Cornett. And, the throw is just a little late for Langley to get the double play, but the Mustangs nonetheless get the big second out.
Great reaction time by the center fielder to have the awareness to get the runner that was tagging up here.
Great job by Cornett of tracking the ball and moving and almost getting the runner at second to get the double play. So all of a sudden, after a Garner taking a 1-0 lead, 2 batters in, all of a sudden it's Garner has 2 outs with no more runs. That'll be big for the Mustangs so they can get out of this inning only of allowing 1 run. As this is going to go behind the, as this is going to be fouled behind the, this is going to be fouled off between the legs of the catcher ran. So it's going to be that's going to go down to strike one, as a strike 1, so we can make an 0-1 count as a ball counts as strike 1 and 2. And the 0-1 pitch is kind of high and away, almost checking the runner there, just make sure getting it in. I think Gravis was more trying to get it in a position where Rand could drill the runner at third if the runner took off. And this pitch is going to be down and it's going to be down low for ball two. Good job there by Rand of stopping it so it didn't get to the backstop, allowing the runner to advance to third. And this is going to be fouled off the tip of the bat of Harris, so that's going to make it a strike. That's going to make it a 2-2 count. Let's make it a 2-2 count. So Gravis is 1 pitch from getting out of this inning, allowing only 1 run after a leadoff hit and then double. As that's going to be high for ball 3 and make it a 3-2 count. So hitter's pitch right here.
As you can see now, the sun's playing a big effect on the left side of the infield here. You can see Raglan covering her eyes from the sun.
Yeah, so you can also see the left fielder Patterson doing it, and that's going to be just inside the left edge for strike 3. So Gravis strikes out Harris. So after the top of the first, Garner leads 1-0. We'll be right back with the Sports Block. And welcome back to the Sports Blog, guys. We're back for the bottom of the first. Garner leading 1-0. Now, the first Mustang batter is going to be Tiana Langley here, as she is the leadoff hitter for the 2nd straight year for the Mustangs. So we'll see if she can start some jumpstart the Middle Creek offense that is coming off a 16-run performance at Panther Creek last week. So as the first pitch was in for a strike 1, make it a 0-1 count. And she fouls this one off, as she is a slap hitter, so that makes an 0-2 count. And as I mentioned in the top of the first, Michaela Brumbles is the starting pitcher for the Trojans, and she's also the third batter, as this is going to be in for ball 1, make it a 1-2 count. Good job there by Langley of not swinging at the pitch, or taking a ball, not swinging at an unnecessary pitch. And Langley fouls this one off, so that makes it. It's going to remain a 1-2 count, with Garner leading 1-0.
Langley's got the support of her teammates here. She's got her teammates backing her up in the dugout here.
And this is going to be down in the dirt for ball 2, making a 2-2 count. So good job there by Langley of staying alive after it was quickly an 0-2 count of battling back to even up the count. And she's going to take that pitch, so that's going to be ball 3. So makes it a 3-2 count, full count here. With Cornett on deck for the Mustangs. And this is going to be fouled out of play. Still remain a full count. As Brummels gets that ball a little dirty. I guess that's how she likes to. I guess it gives her a better grip on the ball. And Tiana's going to swing and miss it. Oh no, they're going to call that a ball. So she's going to walk. So she's going to draw a walk. Good job there by Langley of battling back after being down 0-2, quickly of battling back and eventually drawing the walk. And so that's going to bring up the center fielder, Cornett.
Yes, great job by Langley coming from 0-2 count, bringing in, having a good eye and making contact on foul balls here.
So, and on deck we have Casey Rand for the Mustangs. As Cornett bunts. And the throw is going to be wide of the first baseman, so Langley's going to come over the third, and Cornett's going to reach safely. Is going to get the second safely on the throwing error.
Yeah, ball looked to seem inside on the first baseman. Didn't get that good of a grip on the ball here.
So Langley advances to third on the play. So that's going to bring up number 7, Casey Ram for the Mustangs. So let's see what she can do with runners on second and third with no outs here. And we have Claudia Penny on deck for the Mustangs. As she's one of the Mustangs' better power hitters, as she's has at least 3 home runs on the year. 2 in their last game against Panther Creek. So we'll see what Brummels does here with as that pitch is going to be down in the dirt for a ball 2, making an 0-2 count. I mean a 2-0 count. Correction, 2-0 count. So 2 balls, no strikes. So Brummels does not want to fall behind here. Rio especially, you do not want to fall behind 3-0 or 3-1 to the batter, because basically it's almost in the batter's wheelhouse. As that's going to be grounded to first baseman. So that's going to be an RBI ground out. So that's going to be a RBI ground out for Rand. So that's going to tie the score at 1 as Cornett advances to third on the play. That's going to bring up Claudia Penny for the Mustangs.
Great awareness by Langley, noticing that the ball went to the right side of the infield towards the first base bag and getting to home plate.
So we'll see what, still only 1 out in the inning, so we'll see what Penny can do here with a runner on third with 1 out. She takes the first pitch strike, so that makes an 0-1 count. So on first base we have number 20, Haley Joyner. Haley Joyner is playing third. We got number 23, Samantha Armstrong at first. So let's see what Brummels can do here with the 0-2 count. And she fouls this one off to stay alive, 0-2. As on deck we have Pierce. Ella Pierce on deck for the Mustangs. One of the Mustangs' other power hitters. And this is going to be high for ball 1. It's going to be high for ball 1, so makes it a 1-2 count here. Runner on third, no outs. 1 out. And this is going to be fouled back, so this will remain a 1-2 count with 1 out. So we'll see what Penny can do here. We'll see if she can drive in the second, give the Mustangs their first lead in the game. As this is going to be high. This is going to be away for high and away for ball 2. Make it a 2-2 count. So let's see here with infield not playing particularly in. As this is going to be hit high and deep, and this is going to be foul. This is going to be foul down the right field line. So Claudia Penny almost had herself a double here. Almost had herself a double, which would have scored one. Which would have scored easily scored Cornett from third. So let's see. As number 3, Susan Jones is playing catcher for the Trojans. And this is going to be fouled off, just bounces foul after, just barely bounces foul. So it's still going to be a 2-2 count. So this is the second straight batter. This is the second batter in this inning we've seen get behind 0-2 early and battle back. So let's see if Penny can drive in a run here as she just gets a piece of it to stay alive. So let's see. It'd be big here from the Mustangs if Penny can drive in a run. And this is going to be a bounce away from the catcher from Jones. So that's easily going to score Cornett from third on the wild pitch. So that opens up, that really opens up that really opens it up for Penny, because now she doesn't have to focus on necessarily scoring a run. So now she can, it really opens up the how she can hit here instead of having to focus on hitting it in a way that would score the runner on third. As she hits this, as she hits a blooper just between the second base and the center fielder, so she's going to get on base with a single.
That's Cornett. Great job by Cornett giving the Mustangs their first lead of the game here.
So Penny reaches on the single, so that's going to bring up Pierce with Gravis on deck for the Mustangs. Should there not be a double play here. And Pierce is going to hit this to the center fielder, and that's going to advance Penny to third, as Pierce is going to have a single here. So that brings up Gravis. That was Pierce took the first pitch and swung it the other way as she saw what she liked on the first pitch and swung at it. And that's what you like to see in baseball. So now the Mustangs have another runner on third, runner on first and third with one out, with the senior Gravis on at bat. So that's gonna be in for strike one. As on deck we have Elizabeth Patterson for the Mustangs. So that's gonna be in for strike two, making an 0-2 count. We've seen several quick 0-2 counts by Brumble so far this inning, but she's only been able to get one out so far, as Graves barely lines it foul down the right field line. So let's see if Graves can drive in the Mustangs' third run to give to extend the Mustangs' lead. As this pitch is going to be high for ball one, make it a 1-2 count.
Let's see if the Trojans can get their second out of the inning here.
This would be big for the Trojans if they can get their second out here. And that's going to be in for ball two, making a 2-2 count. It would be huge for the Trojans if they can somehow get out of this inning with only giving up 2 runs. That would be gigantic for them. And this pitch is in for a ball, down low for a ball. So that's making it a 3-2 count, full count. So Brumbles has struggled a little bit on a couple batters this inning. After quickly getting 0-2, she struggled a little bit to put him away. And this pitch is going to be inside. Brummels paints the inside corner for her first strikeout of the game. So that's going to bring up Patterson. So that's the second out of the inning for the Trojans. So that brings up Patterson with Pierce on first and Penny on third. And that's going to be caught by the second baseman. So after the first inning, Middle Creek leads 2-1. We'll be right back with the sports block. And welcome back to the sports block, as we're here for the top of the second with Middle Creek leading Garner 2-1. And the first batter of the inning for the Trojans is going to be Ashton Thomas for the Trojans. So Ashton Thomas. So let's see what she can do for the Trojans. She can jumpstart the Trojan offense. And that first pitch by Gray was going to be in for a ball one. Making a 1-0 count.
Let's see if the Mustangs can do as well as defensively as the last inning, giving up only one run to the.
And this is going to be hit right to the third baseman Ragland, who's able to get it to the first baseman Penny for the out. So Thomas grounds out to the third baseman.
Great stretch by number 8 here.
And that's going to bring up number 23, Samantha Armstrong for Garner. So, yeah, last inning for first stop of the first for Graves, she gave up a leadoff single and then a double, and then she was able to get the next free. She was able to get the next free, and then Middle Creek for the bottom of the first. Middle Creek just jumped on Brumbles and was able to get 2 runs off of her. And Garner ended up on top of the first, stranded a runner on second with and that pitch is going to be in for strike one to make it a 1-1 count. As it was big in top of the first, Garner stranded a runner on second with no outs. That was big. Then Middle Creek was able to get out of that without giving up another run when Garner could have easily when Garner was in good position. So and that pitch is going to be high for ball 2, making it 2-1 count. So let's see what Armstrong can do here. And this is gonna be she's gonna swing and miss at the 2-1 pitch to make it a 2-2 count. So let's see what the Mustangs can do. And this pitch is going to be grounded to the second baseman Mitten, who is able to toss it to Penny for the out. So 2 straight ground outs, and that's going to bring up number 3 Susan Jones for the Trojans.
Grima's finding the zone here early in the game here.
Mhm.
If she's able to do this, the Mustangs can maybe pull off the upset here.
Definitely, I'm sure Middle Creek would consider it not an upset themselves, as it's going to be fouled back for a strike one. So that's going to make it an 0-1 pitch. 0-1 count. As this pitch is going to be in for ball 2. No correction, ball 1 to make it a 1-1 count. So let's see what Jones can do here after 2 straight groundouts by her teammates. And this is going to be this is going to be just past the glove of the third baseman, Ragland, as Jones is going to get the second on the error by the third baseman.
Ball seemed to get a little too inside on the glove here. He was popped a little bit short of the glove. Struggled to get the ball and make the out at first.
So that's going to bring up number 8, Kari Sutton for the Trojans. So we'll see what she can do here, as we're going to have a runner here for the pinch runner here for the Susan Jones, as she is the catcher. And in high school baseball and softball, you can have a pinch runner for your pitcher and catcher when they get on base. So that's going to bring in number 42, Myra Morrell, to run for Jones. So we'll see if Sutton can drive in Morrell, who we can most likely assume is pretty fast, as you probably will not put a slow pinch runner in. As that's going to be in the dirt for ball 1 to make it a 1-0 count. Infield playing, and this is going to be just past the diving glove of the third baseman and the shortstop, so that's going to bring around Morrow. So that's going to be a single for Sutton. So that ties the score at 2, and that's going to bring up number 1, Christina DiRocco for Garner. So that's so Garner's has now. So that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter for the Trojans, Christina DiRocco, as this is the 5th batter of the inning. So Gray was getting herself into a little bit of trouble here. And this pitch is going to be in for strike 1. For ball 1, so that makes it a 1-0 count. So that run is going to be unearned for Gravis, as the runner that scored reached on an error. And this is going to be in the dirt for ball 2, as Rand came up ready to throw, tempting the Acro to take the see if she could try to swipe second base. And this is going to be right to the third baseman Ragland, who drops it, and then she throws it over the head of the first baseman. So Sutton's going to advance to third, and Acro's going to get to second on the error.
Trojans now attacking the left side of the field here.
I believe
that's 2 errors on Ragland.
On that one play, and I believe that's going to be and so I believe that's going to be her 3rd error of the game, as she had one in the top of the first. So that's so now that brings up Haley Joyner with 2 outs and a runner on second and third. So that's she had an RBI. She had an RBI double in the first inning. So we'll see what she can do here with runners on second and third with 2 outs. As she bounces it right to the pitcher Gravis. So the Trojans score 1 on an error from the third baseman. So after 1.5, it's tied at 2. We'll be right back with the sports block. And welcome back to the Sports Block, as we're back for the bottom of the second inning, with the first batter for the Mustangs being Meredith Ragland, the third baseman who committed 2 errors in that last inning to help the Trojans score. So we'll see if she can make up for her errors here by jump-starting the Middle Creek offense. As she is one of the 2 seniors on the team, so she's not gonna. She's going to want to make up for those errors, so we'll see if she can get the offense jump-started for the Mustangs again. As Langley got it started, jump-started, and she's going to foul that one off and make an 0-2 count. So as I mentioned earlier, in the bottom of the first, Middle Creek jumped on Brumbles early and was able to get 2 runs off of her before stranding a runner on first and third with and that's going to be in for a strike. So that's going to be a strikeout looking. That's going to be Brad Shear's second strikeout of the day. That's going to bring up number 4, Christina Minton.
Good job by Brumbles recovering from her first inning struggles and coming back early in this inning. This is early strikeout.
And Minton is the 9-hole hitter for the Mustangs, so Langley will be up. Leadoff hitter will be up for the Mustangs, as she fouls this one off just behind home plate. So that's gonna make an 0-1 count. So we'll see if Minton can get on base and then let the top of the order do the rest, as the top of the order kind of was where I started getting Brumbles in trouble, as that's going to be a ball, make it a 1-1 count here. So we'll see what Minton can do here, as she hits this one right to the glove with the third baseman, as they're going to call her out on the high throw from high throw, so she's going to ground out to the third baseman. So that's going to bring up Langley, who had a who drew a walk in the first and ended up scoring on a RBI ground out by by Casey Rand. And that's going to be in for a strike. For strike 1 to make it a. Oh no, correction. That was going to be in for. That's going to be a little far inside for a ball 1, make it a 1-0 count. And that's going to be up and away for ball 2, make it a 2-0 count. Make it a 2-0 count. We'll see if Langley can get on base for the Mustangs and prolong this inning, as that's going to be in for a strike, making a 2-1 count. As Brumbles has 2 Ks on the day, both looking. As that's going to be in for ball 3 to make it a full count here. So we'll see. So this is definitely a hitter's pitch right here, as the pitcher has to throw something good because you don't want to walk him. So obviously you got to throw something good unless you think you can get him to chase. And that's going to be a ball. So Langley's gonna draw another walk. So that's going to bring up Cornett, who reached on an error in the first inning and ended up scoring. So we'll see if she can advance Langley here. As the runner's probably going to be in motion here, with 2 outs. As Cornett shows bunt, and the first pitch is going to be in for strike 1, making a 0-1 count.
Look for the Mustangs to bunt here to advance the runner to second base.
There's a big gap right there behind second base, so she can hit it. If she can hit it right over the pitcher's head and just in front of the center fielder, she will easily advance Langley to third, and she will have herself a single. And there's also a decent-sized gap between shortstop and third, as that's going to be high for ball 1 to make it a 1-2 count. So as the gap between us, and that's going to be fouled right down the left field line, right into the fence on the Garner dugout. As the hole between first and second base is not a big hole, as they expect Cornet to pull it that way. So let's see what Cornet can do here. And that's going to be over to the outside for ball 2 to make it a 2-2 count. So let's see, the runner has not been in motion here, surprisingly, with 2 outs. As they do, I guess they're expecting. And this is going to be hit to the third baseman, so this is going to be, Cornet's going to ground out to the third baseman, so Middle Creek scores no runs and strands a runner on first, so the score remains 2-2 as we head to the top of the third. We'll be right back. You're watching the Sports Block. And welcome back to the Sports Block as we're back for the top of the third inning. Score tied at 2. We have one defensive change for the Mustangs as Roll and Ragland switch spots. So Roll comes from her right field to play third base, and Ragland goes from third base to right field. Part of that change was after Ragland made 3 errors in the first 2 innings at third base, both resulting in an unearned run last inning for the Mustangs, for Garner. As the first batter, Michaela Brumbles hits one over the fence, so that's going to be a home run for Brumbles. The pitcher comes up and just takes the first pitch and sends it over the center field fence, outfield fence, so right over center field. So that's a deep part of the ballpark. So Brumbles didn't waste any time in getting Garner another lead. So that makes the score 3-2 Trojans. With no outs and nobody on base, and that brings up Savannah Ridley for the Trojans, and she's also a power hitter, and she's in the cleanup hole.
Good job by Brumbles finding that ball high and driving that right out to the deeper part of the ballpark in center field.
Yeah, usually you don't see many people take on the first pitch unless it's a pitch they absolutely like, and she absolutely liked that pitch, and it was evident by her depositing it over the out in center field. That's going to be in for a strike 1 to make an 0-1 count early on Ridley, who struck out her first time had a swinging strikeout her first time up at bat in the first inning. She flew out to center fielder in the first inning. And Ridley is going to hit this to the shortstop, Langley, who is able to get it over to the first baseman Penny, who makes an acrobatic split there to get the out. So that's gonna get the Mustangs their first out of the inning. So that's gonna bring up Ashton Harris, who struck out swinging her first time up in the first inning. So she comes up with 1 out and nobody on base. with Ashton Thomas on deck for the Trojans. And this is going to be in the dirt for ball one to make it a 1-0 count. So Gravis definitely did a good job of battling back and getting the second out batter of the inning after, and this pitch is going to be down in the dirt again for ball two after getting the second batter out after giving up a home run on the first batter.
Let's see if Grivis can relax those nerves from giving out that early home run and strike out this batter here.
As the Garner head coach, Mo Barber comes out to say something to his first base coach, and now he's talking to the to the umpire, I believe, or his batter. I think there might be some confusion between everybody here. I'm not completely sure what's. Might be. All right. Well, they come in and there's a little conference at the mound, and then they go back. So it's it's an 0-1, so it's a 2-0 count, and it's in the dirt for ball three, making a 3-0 count for Gravis. We'll see. So Gravis has got to be good here, otherwise, because you don't want to walk Harris, but at the same time, you don't want to give her something good to hit. You don't want to give her a good pitch to hit. And this is going to be high for ball four, so Harris draws a four pitch walk. So that's going to bring up Ashton Thomas. So Thomas grounded out her last time up. It's a little bit of a danger zone here for the Mustangs because you don't want to let the Trojans get rolling here. And that's kind of the same for both teams. You don't want to let either offense get rolling. As this is going to be high and outside for ball one, as Rand comes up thrown to first baseman Penny to try to get the Harris, but it's to no avail. So 1-0 count here, no outs. No. And this is going to be grounded to the third baseman Roll, who's going to get it to the first baseman Penny for the second out of the inning. So that's going to bring up Samantha Armstrong for the Trojans. For the Trojans here, she grounded out her last time up. And that ground out by Thomas advanced Harris to third. To second, giving her an extra base. And she swings in as Armstrong swings and misses at the first pitch, making a 0-1 count. As we'll see what Gravis can do, as she so far this inning has gone a runner as well. Home run, ground out, walk, now another ground out. So based on that, we'll see if she can stop the trend of the batter being successful on the odd number. As she grounds this to the catcher, Rand, who throws it to the first baseman Penny. So the Trojans score one on a home run from Brumble. So after the top of the third, Garner leads 3-2. We'll be right back with the sports block. And welcome back to the sports block as we're back for the start of the as we're back for the bottom of the third with the leadoff with Casey Rand being the first batter up for the Mustangs in this inning as she had an RBI ground out, her first time up in the first inning. So let's see if Rand can jumpstart the Middle Creek offense here. As the pitch is down and away for ball one to make it a 1-0 count.
Red, one of the two freshmen on the team, starting at catcher for her first year as a Mustang.
And this is gonna be and she's gonna foul this out down the left field line, making a 1-1 count. So Brumbles did a good job of settling down last inning, as she kind of had a bad first inning, and then the last inning she gave up. She only gave up a walk to when Langer came up, and that's going to be in for a ball two, making a 2-1 count. So she kind of settled down a little bit to what the Trojans expect from her. Kind of settled down a little bit as she got to the bottom of the order, and this is in for a ball three, making a 3-1 count.
You'd expect Brumbles with some extra energy here after hitting her home run in the...
Definitely, given shifting all the momentum to the Trojans. So let's see if Rand can start to swing that momentum back the other way, as that's in for strike two, making a 3-2 count. Which makes it a full count here. And this is going to be grounded to the just under the just between the legs of the shortstop, Ashton Thomas. So that's going to be so Rand's going to reach on an error. So that's going to bring up Penny here, as she had a single her last time up.
On that last play, Jordan was expecting that ball to bounce, but it didn't, and it went right in between her legs. But good recovery by the shortstop, number 9, Thomas.
So we have a pinch runner in for, we have number, as Alex Simmons is in the pinch run for Penny here. In for Rand. In for Rand, as she, as I mentioned earlier, catchers and pitchers get a pinch runner. So we'll see what Penny can do here. As that first pitch is inside for ball one to make it a 1-0 count. So 1-0 pitch is in for strike one. So 1-1 count here. 1-1 count, and Penny had a single up her last time up in the first inning, and this is going to be in for ball two, making it a 2-1 count. Making a 2-1 count. So we'll see, and the 2-1 pitch is in for ball three to make it a 3-1 count. So definitely a hitter's pitch right here, and one of the players, pretty much most players up and down the lineup for the Mustangs, 3-1 count you would like, but especially Penny with her home run power, as she fouls this one off, make it a 3-2 pitch, make it a 3-2 count, make it a full count. As it looked like a little there that Penny that looked like a questionable pitch to swing at, as it looked like it was breaking inside, as evident by, I think she fouled it off her shin. So 3-2 pitch here. 3-2 pitch for Brumbles, who's taking her time. And this is going to be in for ball 4. So she's going to walk. So Brumbles is going to walk Penny. So that's going to give the Mustangs a runner on first and second with no outs, which brings up Pierce, who's the DH, who's DHing for Raglan.
Pierce, part of the rally a few weeks ago against Panther Creek, hitting the big grand slam in the 5th inning.
And this is going to be hit right to the shortstop. Oh, it's going to hit right to the shortstop. I mean, second baseman, Winder, as Pierce is going to reach on a fielder's choice. So that's going to bring up Gianna Gravis. So Gravis struck out looking her last time up. Oh, no, actually, correction. Pierce is DHing for Roll, not Raglan. So, Brumbles is taking her time here. Is definitely taking her time, but it looks like she's waiting on the home plate umpire a little bit.
Third baseman playing in here. Expecting a bunt.
So this is in. First pitch is in for a ball 1, making a 1-0 count. So Gravis has a runner on third with 2 outs. So we'll see if she can. Oh, yeah, correction, with 1 out. She has a runner on first and third with 1 out. So we'll see what Gravis can do here.
Gravis looking to put this ball in play in the outfield and advance the runner on third to make it a tie.
This is going to be in for ball 3 to make it a 3-2 count. Oh, no, correction, make it a 3-0 count. And this is going to be down in the dirt for ball 4. So she walks Gravis, so that loads the bases for Patterson with 1 out. Patterson popped up to the second baseman, Winder, her last time up. So we have a pinch runner here, Brittany Boyette for Gravis. So, let's see what Patterson can do here for the Mustangs with the bases loaded. So, almost anything outside of a double play here, outside of a double play and a pop-up would most likely score our runner here, would most likely score Simmons from third here for the Mustangs.
Patterson would love to hit the ball in the gap to most likely advance the runner on second and third to take the lead for the Mustangs over the Trojans.
As Patterson's taking her time getting in the box, kind of surveying the field to see where she wants to hit it. As we have as you can see off in the distance, the second baseman Winder is warming up as a pitcher. So that's going to be in for strike 1. So it's making a 0-1 count. And that's going to be outside for ball 1. That's going to be up and away for ball 1. Making a 1-1 count with the bases loaded. Great opportunity here for the Mustangs to at least tie the game as she swings at the 1-1 pitch to make it a 1-2 count. And this is going to be in for ball 2, make it a 2-2 count.
Brumbles would love to get a strikeout here and get out of this inning without any runs allowed.
As that'd be huge for the Trojans. As Patterson swings and misses at that pitch, so she strikes out swinging. That's Brumbles' third strikeout of the day. So that's going to bring up Raglan with the bases loaded and 2 outs. As we're going to have a pitching change here as I think we're going to have a pitching change. I think we're going to have a pitching change. Or we're just going to have a mound visit as Mo Barbers appears he's not going to make a pitching change yet. I think he's just going to talk to Brumsley and just see where she's at. So Brumsley's going to stay in here as she walks a little bit to the catcher Jones to see kind of make sure they're on the same page with their pitches. Just make sure everybody's on the same page here with 2 outs. You're theoretically 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning after giving up no runs. Should be big. On deck we have Christina Mitten. So we'll see if Raglan can. She struck out looking her last time up, and this is going to be in for strike 1 to make it an 0-1 count. And the 1-0 pitch is hit high and deep to the right into the glove of the diving left fielder, number 5, Sydney Jones. So the Mustangs strand free and score none in that inning. So the score remains Garner 3, Middle Creek 2. We'll be right back for the top of the 4th. You're watching the Sports Block. And welcome back to the Sports Blog as we're back for the top of the 4th inning with Garner leading Middle Creek 3-2. The first batter in the inning is going to be Susan Jones, the catcher for the Trojans. As she reached on an error by the former third baseman Raglan her last time up. So let's see what this is gonna be in. First pitch is gonna be in for a ball 1 to make a 1-0 count. We'll see if Jones can come in to score. We'll see if and Jones hit this right to the pitcher who Gravis, who misjudges it for glove. So Jones is gonna reach on an error for the for her second straight at bat.
Errors seem to be hurting the Mustangs in this game.
So that's going to bring in number 20, Haley Joyner as the pinch runner. Oh, actually, correction, not Haley Joyner. Maria Morrow here for the pinch runner for the Trojan. As Kari Sutton is up for the Trojans. So let's see. She had a single her last time up. So let's see. So that's a 0-1 count here. As she fouled this pitch, as she fouled the first pitch off. And she tries to bunt, but they're going to call a strike on this. As Rand comes up throwing, but the throw is not in time for second baseman. So it's not in time. So Burrow will take a second on the throw. So Sutton has a runner on second with no outs.
Langley seemed to misjudge the bag there. She seemed a little bit in front of the bag and missed the runner.
So this is going to be a strikeout here on Sutton. So she strike. This is going to be a looking strikeout here. So that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Christina Del Arco. So we'll see what the leadoff hitter can do as she's 1 for 1 today as she had an infield single and scored and then reached on an error. As the first pitch is gonna be in for ball 1, making a 1-0 count. One-0 pitch is slapped down the right field line to the second baseman Mitten, who's able to glove it and flip it to the first baseman Claudia. So that's the second out of the inning, with a runner on third, as Morrow takes third on the ground out. So that brings up Joyner, who's 1 for 2 today with an RBI double.
Strange play there by the Mustangs. Mitten almost seemed to have placed the ball into
Penny's glove.
Thank you. Penny's glove there.
And this is Joyner's gonna hit this right in the gap and between right in the gap behind second base. So that's gonna score. That's gonna be an RBI single for her. And that's gonna be the second time Morrow has scored today. So that's going to bring up Michaela Brumbles, who had the home run her last time at bat. So it'll be interesting to see how how Gravis pitches to her here. If she still pitches to her, she and that run made the score 4-2 Garner. As the first pitch is in for ball 1. And this is going to be fouled just off the tip of the bat. So that's going to make an 0-1-1 pitch. 1-1 count here for Brumble. So just at bat for this at bat for Graves is definitely working out better. It's definitely starting out better than the last one. As Brumble hits this pitch high in the air to the shortstop Langley. So the Garner scores one on the error. So after top of the 4th, Garner leads 4-2. We'll be right back with the Sports Block. And welcome back to the Sports Block as we're back for the bottom of the fourth with Garner leading Middle Creek 4-2 as the first batter of this inning is going to be Christina Mitten. It's going to be Christina Mitten here for the Mustangs. What? Oh, we do have a pitching change here as number 15 Samantha Winder comes in for the Trojans. So and this is so Mitten is a slap hitter, and this is the starter for 3 slap hitters in a row as the first 2 in the lineup, Mitten and Langley and Cornett are slap hitters. So and the 0-1 pitch is the 1-0 pitch is fouled off into the stands. So that makes it a 1-1 count. So the final line on so Brumsley gave up, and this pitch is going to be hit right to the shortstop, shortstop Ashton Thomas. So that's going to bring up Tiana Langley, who has 2 walks on the day, and she scored on one of them. So, final line in Brumsey, she's going to give up 1. She had 2 walks. So the first pitch is in for ball 1. So the final line on Brumsey, she gave up 2 walks, 1 earned run. 1 run was unearned. She gave up 2 hits and then had 3 strikeouts. As that pitch is in for strike 1 to make it a 1-1 count.
Mustangs are going to want to redeem themselves after leaving 3 on the bags last inning and try to score 1 or more here.
Yeah, definitely. The Mustangs have definitely left runners on base, and that's going to be in for strike 2 to make it a 1-2 count. Middle Creek has definitely done is left a runner on third in multiple innings and has left a runner multiple runners on in several innings. So Middle Creek has definitely had plenty of opportunities to score. As that pitch is going to be down low for ball 2. So the Mustangs have had plenty of opportunities to score, but they haven't been able to manufacture a run after the first inning. And this is going to be hit down the left field line. So that's going to be fouled down the left field line. So it's going to remain a 2-2 count. It's going to remain at a 2-2 count. As Langley's pitch is foul to the third baseman. Is grounded out to the third baseman Joyner. So that's going to bring up Cornett, the third of the 3 slap hitters in a row. Cornett is 1 for 2, is 0 for 1 on the day, as she reached on an error in the first inning and grounded out in the second inning. She scored. She ended up coming around the score in the first inning after she reached on an error. And that pitch is going to be in for ball 1. As Cornett was able to pull her bat back and take the pitch for ball 1. As there is 2 outs in the inning, so Cornett comes up with empty bases and 2 outs. And that's gonna be in for ball 2, making it a 2-0 count. The 2-0 pitch is in for ball 3 to make it a 3-0 count. So big situation, a little big moment here for Weeder as Cornett, as you kind of have to throw a good pitch now, and Cornett she's gonna walk Cornett on 4 pitches. So that put speed on the bag for Rand, for the catcher Rand, who comes up to hit for comes up to hit third, as she's 0 for 1. As she has her stat line's gonna say 0 for 0 today, as she had an RBI ground out in the first inning, and reached on an error in the third inning. So we'll see if she can get on base again in advance Cornet. And this pitch is gonna be down low for ball 1. Make it a 1-0 count. So we'll see if if Cornet's put in motion here. And she's not put in motion. So it makes it a 2-0 count, as that pitch is in for ball 2. And this pitch is hit high to the center fielder. And just does not have enough to get out. So the Mustangs strand 1 but score none. So the score remains 4-2 Garner after 4. We'll be right back with the sports block. Welcome back to the sports block, as we're back for the top of the 5th. Garner leading 4-2 with Savannah Ridley up to bat for the Trojans. She's 0 for 2 today with a fly out and a ground out. So she's definitely looking to see. She's definitely looking to be productive in this at bat, as this is her 3rd time for the lineup. And this pitch is going to be inside for strike 1. So it's going to be ball, strike 1. So 0-1 count. This pitch is going to be grounded right back to the pitcher, right back to Gravis. So Ridley's gonna ground out for the 2nd straight at bat. So that's gonna bring up Ashton Harris, who is 0 for 1 today with a strike and a walk, or a strikeout and a walk.
Middle Creek would love to go 3 up, 3 down in this inning.
Oh, no doubt they would. As this is gonna be grounded to the 3rd baseman roll. And so that's another ground. That's the 2nd straight ground out here. So that's going to bring up Ashton Thomas, who's over 2 today with 2 ground outs. And this pitch is going to be down low for ball 1, making a 1-0 count with nobody on base and 2 outs. So we'll see if Gravis can get Thomas out to go at free up, free down. And this pitch is going to be down in the dirt for ball 2. As Gravis has thrown a lot of pitches in this inning, so that might be part of the reason why Ridley and Harris took quick swings. So they probably because they saw something they liked, so they took a quick swing to see if they could get on base. As this was a quick, as this is grounded right back up the middle, past the glove, just past the glove of Gravis. So that's going to be a single for Thomas. So that's going to bring up Armstrong, who's also over 2 with 2 ground outs. So we'll see what and this pitch is gonna be inside, but they're gonna get the they're gonna almost get the runner. This pitch was down low for ball 1, but Rand comes up front and is almost able to get Armstrong stealing. No correction, that was actually a strike, and Rand came up front and almost got Armstrong on the play. As we're gonna have a quick pause and play as Langley ties her shoe. So Samantha Armstrong over 2 today, 2 ground outs. The Trojans have been active on the bags today with stealing at every opportunity they could get, as I believe that's their 3rd or 4th steal of the game. So they definitely have been active on the base paths, and the runner is definitely in motion here with 2 outs, as that pitch was in for a ball 1 to make it a 1-1 count. As that's going to be fouled down the right field line to make it a 1-2 count.
Infield staying in their normal position just to get the easy out and get out of this inning.
This is going to be outside for ball 2 to make it a 2-2 count. So we'll see if Gravis can get Armstrong to chase something here, or can just beat her with a fastball, or fool her or something, and get her to swing and get a ground out. As this is going to be fouled down the right field line. As Penny was making a lot of effort for it. So 2-2 count. Runner on second, 2 outs. And this pitch is going to be in for ball 3 to make it a full count. So 3-2 count, full count. So let's definitely see if Gravis can get out of this, can get out of trouble here. And this pitch is going to be hit to the right. It's going to be hit into right field, right over the head of the second baseman Mitten. So that's going to score. That's going to score Thomas from second. So that's going to be a Armstrong's first hit of the game. That's going to score That's going to score Thomas. So that's going to make the score 5-2 Garner, and that's going to bring up the catcher Susan Jones, who is reached on an error both times and has Myra Burrow pinch running for her, and she has scored both times. As this pitch is grounded up just past the glove of the of Gravis into the gap by second base. So that's going to advance. That's going to advance Armstrong to second. So Murrell's going to come in the run for Armstrong.
That run by the Trojans makes the comeback fight a little bit more challenging for the Mustangs.
So the 2 quick outs here for the Graves got 2 quick ground outs, and then Garner's come back and scored 1 and has a runner on first and second. And Graves has almost got her. And there's been 2 straight. And there's been 2 Ball's batted right back up the middle. That she's almost got a glove on. That just out of the just barely out of the reach of her glove, out of Gravis's glove. So actually, we're gonna have a pinch hitter here as Hannah Kenevin comes in to pinch hit for Kari Sutton here. And Sutton was 1 for 2 on the day. So let's see what Kenevin can do here for the Trojans. As this pitch is going to be inside for ball 1. Be inside for ball 1. So since Kenelvin is a pinch runner, she is not had a hit today. As a pinch hitter, she's not had a hit today at bat today. As this is down in the dirt for ball 2 to make it a 2-0 count. So we'll see. We'll see if Gravis can get herself out of trouble here after starting the inning with 2 quick outs, and this is gonna be ground. This is gonna be hit just past the glove of Gravis. So that's gonna score 2. As that's gonna be an RB. No correction. That's actually just gonna be an RBI single there for Kenelvin. So that's gonna make the score 6-2 Trojans. As that scored Armstrong. So we'll see as the pitching coach comes out here to talk to Gravis. As we haven't seen any activity down by the Middle Creek dugout in terms of the other pitcher, Emily Bradshaw, warming up in a little while. So this is probably just trying to see what's going on with Gravis, kind of calm her down and kind of see what she's struggling with, and maybe change up some of the pitch calls here to adjust to how she's what she's struggling with here.
Good mound visit. Good mound visit by the Mustang coach to go and try to keep her composure down and get this last out and get out of the inning.
Yeah, she's been I like the call not pulling Gravis because she's been solid for you all night. So just kind of see if you can get another inning out of her. See if you can finish off the inning. As I was mentioning earlier, Bradshaw is actually now going down to warm up. As that brings up Diarco, who's 1 for 2 on the day with a single. A single she scored once and then reached on a error in the second. So she comes up with 2 outs, runners on second and third. So that's going to be in the dirt for ball 1. So that makes an 0-1 count. 92. So that's going to be ball 1 for Diarco. As that's going to be inside for ball 2. So that's going to make it a 2-0 count. Actually, it's going to be a 2-1 count, correction. And this is going to be a hit this is going to be hit just foul, just past the third base. It was just foul. That's big for Middle Creek. As about an inch to the right, that's a fair ball, and that's going to score 2. So Middle Creek just potentially caught a huge break right there, as that makes it a 2-2 count. And this is going to be hit up in the air to the center fielder Cornett. So Garner scores 2 and Strands 2 to make the score 6-2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Garner leads 6-2. We'll be right back with the Sports Spot. Welcome back to the Sports Podcast. We're back for the bottom of the 5th with Claudia Penning leading off for the Mustangs, as she's 1 for 1 today with a walk and a single. So let's see if she can jumpstart the Middle Creek offense, as this is in for strike 1. So that's in for strike 1. So it's and she swings at the 0-1 pitch to make it a 0-2 count. So 0-2 pitch here is big for Wheeler to weed her, as she can get a quick out as a Penny fouls it out of play down the right field line. So on deck we have Pierce, who's 1 for 2 today. And this is going to be in the dirt for ball 1, making a 1-2 count. Making a 1-2 count. And it's going to be hit high. It's going to hit right to the gap in right center. So Penny is going to get all. Is going to go. Is going to have herself a leadoff double here. So that brings up Pierce, the other main power hitter for the Mustangs. So it's and Pierce is 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a fly out. No, correction, she's actually 2 for 2 on the day, as she had a single and reached on a fielder's choice. As he swings and misses at the first pitch to make it a 0-1 count.
This would be big for the Mustangs if Pierce could hit a base hit and advance the runner to third and maybe even home.
I think the base hit here would score Penny, as this is fouled. Is hit high up in the air, and this is going to just be barely foul. It's going to be barely foul. If it wasn't for the little overhang, and that little overhang over the playing field, that would have been most likely out there. So that makes an 0-2 pitch. So Pierce is still alive here. As she hits this over the fence, so this is going to be a 2-1 homer for Pierce. Good job on Pierce making this game 6-4 all of a sudden.
Great job by Pierce trying to find that ball that she liked and starting this rally back for the Mustangs, making this deficit even shorter.
Yep, all of a sudden it's a 2-1 deficit with no outs. As there's as all the infielders come in to talk to Wheeler here. As that brings up Gravis with Patterson on deck. Gravis is 0 for 1 today with a walk and a looking strikeout. So we'll see what Patterson can do here. We'll see what Gravis can do here. See if she can continue the rally. So that's in for a ball 1. No, strike 1. So that was down just above the knees for strike 1. As that goes into the dirt for ball 1, making a 1-1 count. As this is hit right to the glove of the pitcher here by Gravis. So that's going to be the first out of the inning as that brings up Patterson. Let's bring up Patterson here for the Mustangs as she's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a flyout. And she hits this, and she fouls this back off the. She fouls this one back, so it makes it a 0-1 count with 1 out and nobody on base. With Ragland on deck, who's 0 for 2.
Large gap between the shortstop and second baseman. If she hits one right here, she's got a base hit.
There's a big gap in center, like you were saying. As I was right on the outside edge for strike 2. It'll make it an 0-2 count.
She's also got a hole between the right fielder and the center fielder.
And this is going to be inside for this is going to be inside for ball 1 as she moved out of the way of the pitch. As she fouls this one, as she hits this one foul, but the first baseman Samantha Armstrong is going to catch that in foul ground. So that's going to bring up Ragland, who's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a flyout. And Ragland swings at the first pitch, so that's going to make an 0-1 count. The first of 4 straight slap hitters, I believe. And she fouls this one back to make it an 0-2 count. So Wheeler here has done a good job of battling back after giving up the 2-1 homer to get 2 quick outs and an 0-2 count on the third batter, on the 5th batter she's faced. This is gonna be just outside for ball 1, making it 1-2 count.
Third baseman on the Trojans anticipating a slap here to get a pop-up right to her glove.
And this is a hit. This is going to be popped up to the second baseman. So the Middle Creek scores 2 on a 2-1 homer from Pierce. We'll be right back from the sports block. And welcome back to the Sports Block as we're back for the top of the sixth inning. And Gravis is still Gianna Gravis is still the pitcher for the Mustangs as she's given up 6 runs on the day.
Bradsher's still warming up on the Mustangs dugout side.
Yeah, so she's probably going to have a short leash in this inning. As last inning she got 2 quick ground outs and then a parade of singles. As this pitch is going to be grounded to the shortstop Legley, who gets it over to the first baseman, Penny. As that was a Joyner.
Third grade stretch by Penny over there at the first base. She's playing a very well defensive game.
Oh, she's playing a great defensive game. That's going to bring up Brumbles at That's bring up Brumbles, who's 1 for 3 on the day over home run.
Brumbles would love to hit another one out here.
Oh yeah,
Just
that would be huge for the Trojans to give them another, give them a free run cushion. And this is going to be swung on and missed, making an 0-2 count, making an 0-1 count with 1 out. So Graven's got a lot of ground balls today, outs today. So Penny has definitely got her working at first base. And this is going to be grounded right to the second baseman, Mitten, who just misses it. So Brumbles is going to reach on an error.
Ball slides right under Mitten's glove.
Yeah, and Brumbles is not going to get a pinch runner because she's no longer the pitcher. She's a batter now, so she's not going to get a pinch runner because she's no longer the pitcher. So that's going to bring up Savannah Ridley, who's 0 for 3 of the day for 2 groundouts and a flyout. So that's the 4th error of the game on the Mustangs. As that first pitch is in for a strike. That first pitch was in for a ball. As this is going to be hit high, just in front of the left fielder. So that's going to advance the runners to. That's going to advance the runner. That's going to advance Brumbles to second. So that's going to bring up Harris, who's 0 for 2 today, with a ground out, a strikeout, and a walk. So we're going to have a pinch hitter here for Ashton Harris, as that's going to bring in Caitlin Robinson for the Trojans.
Robertson, as the pinch runner, would love to drive in Brumbles and, as we said earlier, increase his lead and almost try to crush the hopes of the Mustangs.
So let's see what Robinson can do here. As there's some discussion with the home plate umpire. That's we're going to get a pinch runner for Ridley. So number 5, Cindy Jones is going to come in to pinch run. So I guess they're going to, if I'm correct here, I think Jones is going to become the DH now, which was Ridley, and then Jones is going to, and then Robinson is going to become the left fielder, I believe. So that's the first pitch is in for a ball 1 to make it a 1-0 count with Runners on first and second with 1 out.
Gravis has gone deep into this ballgame. Surprised there has not been a pitching change yet.
No, Coach Ray is shown faith in his senior pitcher to as she's definitely kept him in reach all day, as that's in for a ball 2. And a couple of runs are unearned today, and the Mustangs have had plenty of opportunities to score in this game. As this is a hit right to the third baseman, right to the shortstop Langley, who's going to get the force out at third.
Very smart play by the shortstop Langley to know that the third base is the force out there.
Roberson's going to reach on a fielder's choice. That's going to bring up Ashton Thomas for the Trojans. As she hits this right at the third baseman roll, who's going to get the out at third. As she held on to the ball and got the out there, so got the force out. So that ends the inning. So at the after the top of the 6th, Garner still leads 6-4. We'll be right back with the Sports Block. And welcome back to the Sports Log, guys. We're back for the bottom of the 6th inning. Garner leading 6-4. Middle Creek is down to its last 6 outs to try to take a lead. Try to take a lead and hold it here. As the first batter of this inning is going to be Christina Mitten. Christina Mitten here, as she's 0 for 2 for today with a line out and a ground out. So we'll see if she can jumpstart the Middle Creek offense. As she swings at the first pitch and fouls it off, making a 0-1 pitch, 0-1 count. As this was it, this is going to hit right above. Oh, it's going to hit. Oh, it was hit right to the third baseman, who drops it. So Mitten's going to slide into second on a double, as I'm not going to call that an error here, because that was a freaking angle for the third baseman anyway, so it was going to be hard for her to bring it down anyways.
Great base running by Mitten, anticipating that she was going to drop the ball, and she never gave up, and now she's in safe with a double.
That's why you keep running until it's a signal that you're out. And Langley's going to try to foul that one, bunt that one. But that's going to roll foul. So that's going to make it a 1 count with a runner on second with no outs.
Got to give credit to Garner here. They have played very well defense with very little to no errors and mental mistakes here.
And it's going to be in for strike 2 to make it an 0-2 pitch. 0-2 count. He'll have no outs for runner at second. It's going to be hit right to the. It's going to be bounced. It's going to be hit right into the glove of the third baseman. So that's going to be the first out of the inning. So That's going to bring up Cornette, who is 1 for 2 on the day with a RBI. No, correction, that's going to be Cornette, who's 0 for 1 of the day. And that's going to be a pop-up there on a bad bunt from Cornette.
Back-to-back good awareness plays by Garner.
So just like that, Garner has 2 outs. Has got 2 outs on the Mustangs. So all of a sudden, like that, Middle Creek's down to its last 4 outs. So it brings up Casey Red, who's reached on an error today. Has a fly out and RBI ground out. And the first pitch is in for a strike 1 to make it an 0-1 count. And that pitch is going to be fouled back to make it an 0-2 count.
Rand, who almost hit it out in her last at-bat, just as the outfielder had her heels right on the fencing and just missed out on the
Didn't have enough power. And this is going to be hit. This is going to be fouled out of play down the left field line as a dad has a father down there holding his son leaned over to protect his son. Kid's probably going Father of the Year right there. So 0-2 count here. 2 outs. Runner on second. This is going to be hit to the gap in left center, so that's going to score 1. She hit that perfectly. She hit that perfectly right between the center fielder and left fielder to get that in for a RBI single to make that make the score 6-5 Garner. As we have Alex Simmons comes in the pinch run for Rand, as it brings up Claudia Penny, who had a double her last time up. She swings at the first pitch to make it an 0-1 count.
Great job by Rand to get her second RBI of the day. She's been a huge part of their comeback right here.
And that's going to be in the dirt from ball 1 as Simmons takes off for second. So she's going to take second on the wild pit on the pass ball there. So it makes the count a 1-1 count with 2 outs. And that pitch is going to be outside for ball 2 to make it a 2-1 count with 2 outs. As we do have Pierce on deck, who hit the 2-run homer in the last inning to give the Mustangs within 2. And that pitch is going to be inside for ball 3 to make it a 3-1 count. And this is going to be swung on and missed to make it a 3-2 count, full count with 2 outs. Runner on second. This is going to be fouled back. So runner on second. As this is going to be fouled back. Make it a it's going to remain a full count. Score 6-5. Runner on second. 2 outs. And she swings and misses here, so that's going to end the inning here. So we're going to go to the top of the 7th with Garner leading 6-5, with Garner looking for some insurance runs, I'll be right back at the sports block. And welcome back to the Sports Rockers. We're back for the final inning of play, or we believe will be the final inning of play. As Garner leads 6-5, as Garner's looking for some base charts runs with the first batter here. It's going to be Samantha Armstrong for the Trojans. Armstrong is 1 for 3 on the day. So we have an 0-1 count with no outs on Armstrong, who has 1 single on the day and 2 ground outs. This is gonna be a strike, swinging strike, so that makes it 0-2 count with no outs. It's gonna be swung on and missed here, so that's gonna make it a so it's still gonna remain a 0-2 count here.
Grave is still in this ball game.
Yeah, Coach Ray definitely showed a lot of faith in his senior pitcher. A lot of trust in her to keep this game keep it at a run game here. It's gonna be hit right past the diving glove of the first baseman Petty. So Armstrong's gonna reach. It's gonna have a single. So that's bring up Susan Jones here for the Trojans. And that pitch is going to be in for ball 1 to make it a 1-0 count. Jones is reached out an error twice and has a single and an RBI. Her pitch runner, Meyer Burrell, has scored both times. She's scored both times. And that pitch is in for ball 2 to make it a 2-0 count with no outs, so runner on first. That pitch is in for a ball 3 to make it a 3-0 count. And this pitch is going to be in for ball 4, so that's going to be a walk there issued to Jones. So that's going to make it Morrell. So that's going to bring in Morrell, the pitch run for Jones. It's going to be bunted, but it's going to be pulled back, and they're going to call it a ball here, making it 1-0 count. So, runner on first and second. We're going to have a pinch runner in for Armstrong. It's going to be number 6, Jordan Mitchell. And here comes the pitching coach from Middle Creek, so we're going to have a change here, I believe. No, we're not going to have a change. We're going to, he's going to show more faith in his, coach, I think she's going to show faith in his, senior pitcher like he has all night. So he's going to stick with Gravis here. As she's thrown nothing but balls this inning, I believe. But no. Actually, let Armstrong get a hit, and then walked Jones on, and then she walked Jones on 4 pitches. So that's going to bring up Robinson. No, actually, that's going to bring up this should bring up number 8, Kari Sutton for the Trojans. This will be a ball.
Gravis struggling to find the strike zone late in this inning. Or in this game, my bad.
2-0 count, no outs. That's gonna be called. That's gonna be a strike. So that's making a 2-1 count with no outs. Runner on first and second. That's gonna be bunted, just fouled down the first base line. So that's going to make it a 2-2 count with no outs. Runner on first and second. This is going to be hit high, deep to, this is going to be a home run here for, no, this is going to be just shy of the, fence for Sutton, so that's going to be a long single for her. So now the bases are loaded with no outs for number 1. For number 1, Christina Diacro. So let's see what if Gravis can get out of the jam here. It's been grounded to the shortstop, Langley, who gets a force out at home. That's huge for the Mustangs here, as they keep it at a run-run deficit here.
Langley's played tremendous heads-up defense since the first error she had early in the game. She's really stepped it up since then.
Oh, she has. As she did a smart play there, got the force out at home. As that comes in for a strike, they make it a 1 count with 1 out, bases loaded. For Joiner. This is going to be in for a ball to make it a 1-1 count with 1 out. Bases loaded. This pitch is gonna be hit down the right field line, but it's gonna be foul. So 1-2 count, 1 out, bases loaded for Jordan here, who has 2 hits on the day, both RBIs. This pitch is going to be in the dirt for ball 2 to make it a 2-2 count. This pitch is going to be in and high for ball 3 to make it a 3-2 count with 1 out, bases loaded. So she definitely has to throw something good here because she does not want to walk in a run here. It's going to be fouled back, so she stays alive. She barely gets a piece of it, so she stays alive. So Graves is going to have to throw her best pitch here. So see if maybe she can get a double play to get out of the inning. And this is going to be hit. Oh, just passing the diving glove of Langley. So that's going to score 2. That's going to score 1. That's going to be an RBI single here for Jordan. So that's going to bring up Brumbles. So that's going to make it 7-5. This is going to be down in the dirt. Actually, though, this correction. This is going to be Wheeler who came in the pitch. And she's going to hit this over the glove of Langley at the shortstop. So that's going to score 2. That's going to score 2 runs here. So that's going to make the score 9-5 Middle Creek. Garner. Here, so and that's going to bring up Ridley here.
Garner's energy in the dugout certainly has not given up.
I believe we're going to have a pitching change here. As Emily Bradshear, the freshman, is going to come in to replace Gravis. So with Garner leading 9-5 with 2 runners on and 1 out, then we're going to have a pitching change. We'll be right back with the sports block. And welcome back to the Sports Blog, guys. We're back after a pitching change. So the freshman Emily Bradshear comes in for the Mustangs to replace Gravis, who has given up 9 runs in this game. About 5 of them have been earned, and another 4 of them have been unearned due to errors committed in the field of play. And this is going to be Savannah Ridley up for the Trojans, and she reached on an error her last. She had a single her last time up. She fouls this one back.
Let's see if the freshman Emory Bradshaw is able to not let that runner on third score before the end of this inning.
And this is going to be a ball, so this is going to be a pass ball here, so that's going to score another run. That's going to make the score 10-5 Garner. So Garner has scored 4 runs in this top of the 7th inning here to blow this game open. And this is going to be down in the dirt for ball 2 to make it a 2-1 count with 1 out. Runner on second. Ridley definitely has the body of a power hitter here, so you don't want to give her something that she wants to hit, because then she might deposit it over the fence for a home run. And she swings and misses, so Bradshear is able to get her to chase the ball outside the zone to get it to a 2-2 count with 1 out and a runner on second. And it's going to be a swing. So Bradshear gets Ridley to swing at 2 straight pitches outside of the zone, gets her the chase at 2 pitches. So that's the second out of the inning. So that's going to bring up Kaylin Robinson here for Let's bring up Caitlin Robinson here for, actually this is going to be number 10, Ashton Harris here for the Trojans.
As we had a mishap as the batter came out with her warm-up shirt and had to take that off, and now umpire's dusting off the plate.
Mm-hmm. So that's first pitch is going to be in for a strike to make it an 0-1 count with 2 outs. And she's going to swing and miss at this one to make it an 0-2 count with 2 outs. Runner on second.
Runs haven't been a problem so far this season for the Mustangs, as in their past 4 games they've scored 11, 10, 12, 16, but compared to the other games they've only got 5 tonight. Yeah.
So the Mustangs definitely have the offensive firepower to potentially make a, and that's going to be, the umpire's going to call that a strike, so Bradshear is going to get Harris looking on the strike, so we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th with Garner leading 10-5. We'll be right back with the Sports Spot. welcome back to the Sports Block as we're back for the bottom of the 7th for Middle Creek's last. Middle Creek's down to its last 3 outs as Pierce is up to bat for the Mustangs. And she had a 2-run homer her last time up against Weirder, and she hits this one deep to center, so she has another home run. So she apparently she likes facing Wheeler here, as she has 2 home runs off of her in 2 at bats. And that makes the score 10-6 Middle Creek. So we'll see if that can jumpstart the Middle Creek offense here, get them jump started.
Similar placement in that same pitch. She likes to swing at that first pitch, but similar placement on the pitch that she hit the first one out.
Yeah. And so Gravis is now up to bat. She's 0 for 2 today with a walk and a line out and a looking strikeout. And she struck out. And she fouls this one off. She fouls this one off, so that makes the count 0-2 with no outs, nobody on base.
Let's see if the senior could come up big here.
So that's that pitch is going to be in for ball 1 to make it a 1-2 count with no outs. So it'll be big here if Gravis could get on base, as she's gonna hit this just over the head of the second baseman and in front of the right fielder to get herself a single. So that brings up that's gonna bring up Elizabeth Patterson, who's 0 for 3 on the day. Actually, correction, they're gonna have Emily Bradshaw come in to hit in place of Patterson. And that's gonna be a pass ball here, so that's gonna advance Gravis to third.
Mustangs showing some life in the bottom part of this inning, hoping for their first SWAC win.
Yeah, and they've already had a big comeback on this year, as they came back from I believe 10 down against Western Harnett, I believe. So that's in for ball 1 for strike 1 to make it a 1-1 count. And that's the pitch is going to be in for strike 2, make it a 1-2 count. This is Bradshaw's first at-bat of the night. This is going to be hit right past. This is going to be hit to the diving glove of the shortstop, and she's going to be safe. No, she's going to be called out. The ball beat her by a hair.
Extremely close call over there at first base, but great job at advancing the runner, but sadly you got this one out.
That's going to bring up Raglan, who's 0 for 3 on the day. And Raglan's going to foul this one off and make an 0-1 count with 1 out. And Pierce is going to be on Graves is going to be on third with 1 out. So we'll see if Raglan can get on base and score Gravis. As Raglan's going to foul this one out of play into the stands, as a Garner parent caught it. So that makes it a 0-2 count with Mitten on deck.
Once again, a big gap between the shortstop and second baseman.
And Raglan's gonna get her first hit of the night, so this is gonna score Gravis. And she's gonna have herself a double on the night. Her first hit is a double, and it comes at a huge time for Middle Creek. So that's gonna bring up Mitten. So that Langley's on deck. So Langley on deck represents the tying run in this game. And that's going to be a pass ball. So that's going to move that's going to move Ragland to third. Still one out, so 0-1. 0-1, so an 0-1 pitch on a, so it's going to be counted 0-1 count, 1 out, runner on third. Mitten up to bat. She had a double her last time up, and she's going to foul this one out of play. So that's going to make an 0-2 count with 1 out. As they had to get a ball from the dugout. So yeah. The was a little miscommunication as the ball that came out of the Middle Creek dugout went to the umpire, or the pitcher needed it. And this is going to be a hit right to the glove of the third baseman. And so that's going to be a ground out there for Mitten for the second out of the inning. So that's going to bring up Langley. That's going to bring up Langley. So with Cornett on base, if Langley can reach, Cornett represents the tying run in the game. And then if it can get that far, Rand would represent the winning run. But we still have to get to that point. So Middle Creek is down to its last out. And this is going to be called a strike right down the middle. So that's going to make an 0-1 count with 2 outs. Garner leading 10-7. Garner leading 10-7. And this is going to pitch is going to be out off to the right. So it's going to be up high. So it's going to be ball 1. So that's making a 1-1 count with 2 outs. Runner on third. Down by 3. And this pitch is going to be fouled off out of play. This is going to be fouled off down the left field line, so that's going to make it a 1-2 count with 2 outs. And this pitch is going to be down the fouled off down the left field line. So if Garner goes on to win this game, if Garner goes on to win this game, the big story for Middle Creek is going to be errors and runners left on base. They left plenty of runners on base and had a couple of errors that led to some unnecessary runs, as Graves kept them in the game to the fifth to the top of the 7th, and that's going to be in for ball 2 to make it a 2-2 count with 2 outs.
Mustangs need a hit here if they want any chance of taking over the Trojans.
A hit here would be, just getting on base would be huge for, and that's going to be a hit, so that's going to score as Langley's going for second. So she's going to have herself a double. That's going to make the score 10-7 as Cornett comes up the bat. As she represents a tying run, so if she were to hit a home run here, it would be a tie game.
Back to that last play, the outfielder seemed to have went to go dive for the ball and actually advanced the ball farther out towards the field, towards the fence.
And this pitch is going to be in for strike 1 to make it an 0-1 count, 2 outs. Middle Creek down by 2. We do have, and Miranda's on deck. She represents and it's going to be grounded to the pitcher, so that's going to be the ball game as Garner's going to win 10-7 over Middle Creek in a a back and forth game that the big story from Middle Creek was errors and runners left on base as Gravis left her as Gravis held him into the game, kept him in the game for a while. As the final score was 10-8 as Garner won. So the big story was Gravis kept him in the game for. She's going to take the loss. Gravis kept him in the game to the 7th inning. So, but unfortunately, errors and runners left on base cost him. So your final score is Garner at 10, Middle Creek 8. Thank you for tuning in. You're watching the Sports Block.